This is Diana Bustamante, the chairperson of the North Central Jersey Association of Realtors Global Council, and it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you today to this amazing webinar in which we are ready to learn about how to do business with the Dominican Republic and all of the great opportunities we have in our association with the Dominican Republic. Some of you may not be aware that as an association, we were selected by the National Association of Realtors as the Ambassador Association to the Dominican Republic. In that role, our job is to help the Dominican Republic learn about how we do business in the US, but also to forge alliances and great business opportunities for all of our members. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce our program for today. Cheryl Henderson has been in real estate business for the past 20 years, starting with her license in the state of New Jersey back in 2000. She spent 5 years investing and flipping properties in New Jersey and Philadelphia before moving to the Dominican Republic in 2005. For the past 15 years, Cheryl has been leading and forging charge in the real estate sector in the Dominican Republic. Recently, Cheryl has assumed the role of Regional Operating Principal for Keller Williams, with the region being the entire country of the Dominican Republic. And she is also the second Vice President for the Real Estate Board, AEI, or Asociación de Empresas Inmobiliarias. Although an American, many consider her now a aplatanada. Thank you so much, Cheryl, and here is your audience.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that introduction, Diana. And thank you to all of you. We feel really, really honored to be here and to be invited to present the Dominican Republic and the buying process in the Dominican Republic. We know that the first step of buying is even understanding how business works in any country. And that is what we're going to share with you today. So we thank you all for joining us this Monday morning. Hope the weather is good where you are. It was rainy this morning, but now the sun is shining and it's clearing up. Today, I am going to be presenting with two of my colleagues. We will have Alex Duyon, who is with us here in the Punta Cana area. He will be presenting about the Dominican Republic, some background and property management. Alex has been in real estate actually for some years in the Miami area. He's been with us here in the Dominican Republic for the last year and is now with the office of Keller Williams in Punta Cana. So Alex will be presenting to us today. And I also have today Darian Lewis, who also has experience from real estate in the United States out on the West Coast in Oregon, in kind of my neck of the woods of Pacific Northwest. I am from Washington by way of military. So we have something in common, being far, far, far from the DR. And Darian has actually lived in the Dominican Republic for the last 9 years. And he is in the Santiago area at the moment, and also works with us here in the office in Punta Cana. So without further ado, we will get into the presentation materials. If you have any questions, please do put them in the Q&A, because when we finish, Diana will be assisting us with getting all of your questions answered. If they are in the chat, they could get mixed with different comments, so make sure that you click on Q&A for any questions, and we will address all of them at the end of the presentation. Thank you, and without further ado, I'm going to hand the mic over to Alex.
Well, thank you very much, Cheryl. Welcome, everybody. Good morning from Punta Cana. where it's sunny, beautiful, and we're delighted to have you here. I have the distinct pleasure of telling you about the Dominican Republic, the economy, the infrastructure in the different cities. I'll talk to you about the 5 major cities here in the Dominican Republic. For those of us that don't know the Dominican Republic quite well, the Dominican Republic is the #1 tourist destination for the Caribbean. It's the #1 golf destination for the Caribbean and Latin America, and it is the fastest growing economy in the region. The Dominican Republic, also known as the DR, but not to be confused with Dominica, is a country located in the middle of the Caribbean region, occupying the eastern part of the island of Hispaniola. To give you an idea of its size, the Dominican Republic is about the size of the state of Delaware, but it is the 2nd largest country in the Caribbean by area after Cuba, with almost 19,000 square miles. And it's also the 3rd largest country in the Caribbean by population, with over 10 million inhabitants. Its terrain comprises of rainforest, savanna, and highlands, including Pico Duarte, which is the Caribbean's tallest mountain. Having said that, before I continue, I'd like us to pause for a minute and imagine what we see here, that we're surrounded by infinite miles of breathtaking white sand beaches with over 30,000 square miles of lush tropical mountains. Well, imagine no more, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Dominican Republic. I'm going to talk to you about the different economic statistics, the health situation, as well as interesting facts. For economic statistics, we're the #9 largest economy in Latin America. The GDP in 2017 was 80 billion. The following year, in 2018, 85.5 billion. And the year after that, 2019, it was $88.9 billion of GDP, with 11% of which was generated by tourism. Speaking of tourism, the Dominican Republic welcomes several million tourists yearly. To be more specific, in 2015, we welcomed 6 million. In 2016, 6.7 million. In 2017, 7.1 billion. In 2018, 7.5 billion. And last year, the numbers aren't in yet completely, but we had an 8% increase from 2018 just in the first quarter. In terms of health information, today, in December 2020, you'll be glad to know that all our airports, beaches, shops, as well as restaurants are opened while exercising all international measures of precaution, including social distancing, the use of face masks, which by the way is obligatory here in all public areas. Everybody's body temperature is checked at the entrance of all malls, shopping centers, and stores. The hospitals even have special wings allocated to people with the symptoms of COVID-19. And even though we don't like it, we have a countrywide curfew. Here in Punta Cana, Monday through Friday, it starts at 9 p.m. And on weekend, it starts at 7 p.m. on weekends. In that, we are, although we don't like it, we are thankful because those precautionary measures have helped us keep our percentage of contamination very, very, very low. Now for the interesting facts. The capital, Santo Domingo, which I'm going to talk to you a little bit more in a minute, is home to a quarter of the country's total population. I'm glad to say that we are a democracy here, and our current president, Mr. Luis Abinader, was elected into office on August 16th of this year as the 54th president. He is a graduate of Harvard University, among other well-known and respected American academic institutions. Our population, 10.63 million inhabitants, according to the World Bank Census of 2018. And this is great news for you guys that want to visit. Our currency is the Dominican pesos, and today the exchange rate is 58 pesos to $1. So yes, your dollar will take you a long way here. But you might be asking yourself, what is the Dominican Republic best known for? Well, the Dominican Republic is a sensational combination of beautiful beaches, great people, rhythmic music, and as you see, we take it even to the streets. We also have delicious foods that captivate our visitors, re-energizing them to create memories that will last a lifetime. With our 8 international airports, paradise has never been closer. By air, the Dominican Republic is only 2 hours from South Florida, the Miami and Fort Lauderdale airports, less than 4 hours from New York, and only about 8 hours or so from most European and Canadian cities. The island has a biological diversity in addition to fantastic climate, with an average temperature of 78.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Currently, sports and music are very important, and merengue and bachata being the national rhythms, and baseball our favorite sport. As we see, famous Sammy Sosa is Dominican. We also have, for golf lovers, over 28 world-class golf courses. Furthermore, for us cigar lovers, the Dominican Republic has also earned its worldwide recognition for our cigars. Therefore, investment opportunities here are backed with a solid infrastructure, steady economic growth, business-friendly legislation, all contributing to cementing the Dominican Republic's position as the #1 place to buy real estate in the Caribbean. But let's talk about the Caribbean culture some. Yes, the Dominican Carnival, also known as the Carnival Dominicano. It is time when people from all ages, from all regions, take to the street to enjoy some of the most beautiful and most festive parades in the whole world. The Carnival in the Dominican Republic is celebrated in 7 different cities throughout the country every Sunday for the month preceding Lent season, which falls usually in February. The merriest event, though, is the final National Carnival Parade held in the capital, Santo Domingo, on the first Sunday of March. That's always the first Sunday of March. You might be wondering, why is that? Well, the Carnival is sealed with in co-celebration with the Independence Day of the Dominican Republic, which is February 27th. That day, Santo Domingo's celebration include large military displays, Dominican Air Forces, the Navy, the Army, along Carnival groups from all around the different areas that come for the last fiesta along the Malecon waterfront. Now, I'll take a moment to talk to you about the 5 principal cities, starting with Santo Domingo. Santo Domingo, as I mentioned, is the capital of the Dominican Republic. It's affectionately called in Spanish, La Capital. For those of us that want to start practicing our Spanish before we get here, it's La Capital, which means the capital, as you thought of. The most modern and dynamic city in the Caribbean is Santo Domingo, we are proud to say. Santo Domingo is, as I had mentioned, home to more than a quarter of the total country's 10.6 inhabitants. However, something you might not know, Santo Domingo is the cultural, financial, political, commercial, and industrial center for the Dominican Republic, with the country's most important industries and seaports. It is where the country's wealth is concentrated, in addition to the seat of national legislature, judicial, and executive governments. The second largest city is where Darien is, Santiago, officially called Santiago de los Caballeros. Santiago de los Caballeros, interestingly, was the country's first capital before it suffered an earthquake back in 1562. Santiago is affectionately named Ciudad Corazón, which means city of the heart, for the simple reason that it is centrally located in the heart of the Cibao Valley, and the Dominican Republic's second largest city, with a thriving, modern, and cosmopolitan city pulsating with culture and entertainment. To give you an idea, downtown Santiago is home to a vibrant nightlife with over 100 nightclubs, bars, and world-class entertainment. But it doesn't stop there for Santiago. Santiago was also blessed with fertile soil to grow the world's finest tobacco, and home to 90% of the largest tobacco factory, earning its name or nickname, Cigar Country. Additionally, it's the second largest city after Santo Domingo and the second highest percentage of GDP for the country. Now to Punta Cana, my personal favorite place. This is where I have the pleasure of speaking with you from. Punta Cana is also known as the resort town of the Caribbean. Located, as you can see, in the easternmost point of the Dominican Republic, uniquely nested where the Atlantic Ocean meets the Caribbean Sea, making Punta Cana the town with the largest and longest white sand coastline. We're talking about 62 miles of beautiful white sand beaches. Punta Cana is, as I had mentioned, the #1 golf destination for the Caribbean, with about 28 world-class golf courses. Punta Cana is the #1 tourist destination, hosting 60% of the country's 7+ million visitors yearly. Punta Cana is also the Caribbean's resort town with the largest number of resorts from anywhere in the Caribbean and Latin America. Interesting point. Punta Cana's international airport is the most connected airport in the Caribbean and Central America, receiving flights from over 26 countries and processing over 4 million passengers a year. Just a side note, these statistics are before the pandemic. The great thing about us is our proximity to the United States, as I had mentioned, and the fact that we have a lot of English-speaking people who live and work here. Another interesting place is La Romana. You might have heard of it. La Romana overflows with natural riches, making it the third largest city in the Dominican Republic and one of the most sought-after destinations after Punta Cana. Interestingly, the largest sugarcane mill in the Americas was once headquartered in La Romana, until its owner diversified and ventured into tourism, like a lot of places do here. And from the largest sugarcane mill, he opened what we know today as the luxurious Casa De Campo back in 1974. Today, Casa De Campo is one of the world's largest resorts and top golfing destinations, including, for those golf lovers, it is home to Teeth of the Dog golf course. The last major city here is Puerto Plata. As you see, it's on the extreme north coastline. Puerto Plata, interestingly, was the birthplace of tourism and is the 9th largest city of the Dominican Republic today. It continues to pack a mighty punch with its sprawling landscape and spectacular mountains, lush valleys, sparkling rivers, and breathtaking beaches. Puerto Plata always astonishes its visitors with the La Novia del Antiquito, the Atlantic darling, which gives its riders a bird's eye point of view for the Caribbean's only cable car. So with that said, you can see that the Dominican Republic is a solid economy, a great country to live, and has great real estate investment opportunities backed by a solid infrastructure and investor-friendly legislature. Now, I'd like to pass it on back to Cheryl, and she will talk to you and introduce you to Darian, who will tell you a lot more interesting statistics about the Dominican Republic.
Thank you very much, Alex. Wow. Every time I hear you speak, I just feel so motivated. You speak with such passion, and I feel like I learn something every time we speak. And we talked about some of the major areas of the Dominican Republic. And actually, there are many, many more, but we only have an hour to share with you so much information. So maybe in the next meeting, we can talk to you about Samaná, Las Terrenas, Sosúa. We can talk to you about Jarabacoa, Barahona, and other areas of the Dominican Republic that are so beautiful that you could not imagine, with mountains and waterfalls and just so many marvelous things. But we continue with the agenda. Now, I am going to speak with you about the real estate market, because we're all realtors here, and I know that that is an interest to all of you who have connected with us today. As Diana mentioned, I have lived in the Dominican Republic for the last 15 years. So I have been here to see a lot of the development in the tourism, especially in the Punta Cana area. I know that there has been a lot more history in Casa De Campo, in Puerto Plata, as far as tourism. And obviously, Santo Domingo is known for being the oldest city in the Americas, which is apparently where Christopher Columbus actually originally landed before he landed in the United States. There's just a lot of history in the Dominican Republic. But I'm going to speak about the real estate market now. And I'm actually going to start with like the last 10 years or so. Actually, let's go back 15 when I first moved here. When I moved here in the Punta Cana area, there was nothing but an airport and hotels and opportunity, potential. I saw the potential and I packed up. I had a 4-year-old son. I came with him on a one-way flight with laptop in one hand and the 4-year-old in the other hand. And I said, okay, let's see what I can do. Many, many projects started, finished along the coastline. And most of the investments back in those years were beachfront properties. We have properties like Stanza Mare, Playa Turquesa, a lot of properties really along the beach as Punta Cana was developing and evolving. In Santo Domingo, they were building towers. In Piantini, in the Malecon, and Puerto Plata was continuing to develop as well 10 years ago. Mostly the boom in the tourism in the Dominican Republic was in the coastal towns because of the beaches and people looking to own beachfront vacation properties. In the last 5 years, things have changed because obviously everybody knows we went through a global economic crisis back in 2008 that actually started right around when I was moving here and then was very much full blown around 2008, 2010. And things really started changing in that the construction and the development along the coastline slowed down, and actually the towns filled out. So what happened in Punta Cana? There were more projects in construction inland, not just a strip along the coastline. So we have more commercial, we have malls, actually a couple of malls. We have movie theaters now. We had a couple of movie theaters, a 3D movie theater with the big reclining seats, which was super nice. An advantage for being in the Dominican Republic, actually, this is just a little aside, is that we would get movies before they would come out in the States. So I would see a commercial about coming at the end of the month, and the movie is already in the theaters because they wanted to get the temperature of the world to be able to say #1 movie, best-selling movie before it even opened in the States. So we would get some of the movies actually before they were released in the United States here. Churches, schools, very good schools accredited in the United States, all the way through high school, and some universities open here in this area. So what we actually saw was very nice in that Punta Cana filled out in not only to be a tourist town, but a place where people could come and live all year round to enjoy things to do, places to go, places to worship, education for the children, golf courses, communities for families, and as well, of course, the beautiful beaches and the vacation rentals and the opportunities to buy properties for vacation rental, to put them in Airbnb and what have you. In 2020, obviously, we know that things have changed with the global pandemic that we are all experiencing. And what we have done is what we all know that we do as realtors is we reinvent ourselves, we adapt. So this year, we have been focusing on things like Zoom, webinars, communication, education, and we're continuing to share our properties. We're using technology. We're doing virtual open houses, virtual tours, more with drones, videos, these types of meetings to just share information, because at the end of the day, the world is small. And now we're actually in more communication, because it's quite possible that without this technology and what is going on in the world, that maybe we wouldn't even all be here today communicating and sharing information about the Dominican Republic. So what I see as far as the opportunities is very positive. We have continued to sell properties. We do continue to have new construction projects with very good prices from 60, 70, 80, 90,000 and up. We have luxury villas. We do have, actually, the hotels are open now, and the vacation rental business is good. We are renting the properties are booking up. And what's happening now is there is actually an advantage to having a vacation property, and I'll tell you why. You have more space, you have your own space, you have a kitchen, a living room, a bedroom, you have laundry. It's not as if you are just in a room in a hotel. You have more space for yourself, you can cook for yourself. So actually, the opportunity for investment in vacation rentals now in this era is good. The opportunities, well, I just spoke about some of the opportunities to buy investment properties, to buy income generating properties, to buy a second home for your family. Darian will speak a little bit later about banking and financing opportunities, because I'm sure that is a question which you will get good answers. The answers are yes, 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 yes. Todo es posible. And Darian will give you a little bit more about that. But we are doing well here. The country is open. We practice social distancing. They take your temperature, but we're open for business, and we are continuing to do business. So the real estate market in the Dominican Republic, we have no complaints right now. And for those who are in cold weather, like maybe you are right now in New Jersey, where your business slows down during the winter, it's a huge opportunity for you to learn about some of the properties that we have here and some of the opportunities that we have here to continue your business and to continue generating income, because now is the time of year that we do most of our business. So as things are slowing down up north, things are ramping up here in the Caribbean. So take advantage of the opportunity. The buying process. So now I'll speak with you a little bit about the buying process. How does it work? Well, it is a little bit different than how things are in the States, but not completely different, okay? So the first thing is find a reputable company. If you're gonna buy here or recommend your clients to buy here, make sure that you are working with a reputable company. We are speaking to a group that is a part of an association. We have an association here as well. Any company that is a part of the association, you can feel comfortable with as far as the ethics and following general rules to take care of you as a referral or as a buyer and to take care of your client. So make sure you confirm that any company that you would recommend is a member of the the Realtor Association. Find the right agent. This could depend. If you need someone who speaks English, there are agents who speak English. If you need someone who speaks Spanish, if you need someone who specializes in vacation rentals or investments, if you need a luxury agent for the homes in Casa De Campo or Cap Cana or any of the areas that are very luxurious and high end, we have everything. So just let us know what you need and we connect you with the right agent. Find the property that meets your goals or your client's goals. What are you looking for? Are you looking for a place where you just come and relax on your own? Are you looking for something that generates income until you retire? Are you planning to move? And you would like something that maybe has a lot of green area and is on a golf course because you know you're going to buy a car and you can get around to other places. All of these factor into what you would buy and where you would purchase. So whoever would be your realtor of choice should be equipped to advise you and to present you the property that meets your goals. So I would recommend that instead of saying, oh, I want a 2-bedroom condo on the beach, to talk about not so much the property, but what you are looking for. Are you looking to move? Are you looking for investment? Are you looking for something for your family? Do you have small children? Speak about your why, and then we can help you with the what. Sign a reservation or offer. That's quite normal. For the builders, usually they use a reservation form. For a resale, generally it's an offer that your agent would put together for you to basically state your particular information and then the offer that you want to make, the price, the conditions, financing, if the furniture is included, how the payments will go, when you will close, those types of things. And then once the offer is agreed to and signed, then you would make a deposit and then cover your legal fees. So you don't necessarily make a deposit with the offer, because generally we're dealing with people from overseas or people remotely, and we wouldn't ask you to send money before we know that we have a deal. So generally the money is exchanged once we are sure about the negotiation and the conditions of the offer and both sides have agreed. Then at that point you make a deposit, you pay your legal fees, which are part of your closing costs. Here in the Dominican Republic, this is one of the differences, is that we don't really use title companies here, we use lawyers. Because there is no licensing for real estate agents, you are, the lawyer has the license to make the contract, to notarize and legalize the contract of sale. So a part of your closing costs would be the legal fees. And what are the closing costs, you ask? They are very, very reasonable in comparison, because it can be as low as just 2% of the sale price. if you are buying or your client is buying in a project that qualifies for the tax abatement, which are most of the new construction projects in tourist areas. If you are not buying basically a builder construction project in a tourist area, or if you're buying a resale, there is a possibility that your closing fees could be a little bit more, because you would then need to include a 3% land transfer tax. So that would be a part of your closing costs, which could raise your closing costs up to somewhere around 5%, which includes all of the fees, the legal fees, the contracts, the title transfer, miscellaneous, and everything. So it could be as low as around 2% if you're buying in a new construction project in a tourist area, or it could be maybe around 5% if you're buying otherwise. Legal due diligence comes after that. So you have your agreement, you make your deposit, which generally could be around $5,000, more or less, like $5,000 deposit, which is refundable if conditions are not met. So you don't lose your money. You make your deposit, you take the property off of the market, you pay your legal fees, then the lawyer does the due diligence, and then after that, you sign the contract. So when the lawyer finishes due diligence, makes the contract, you sign the contract, and then continue with conditions. If you're buying in new construction, it could be that you sign the contract and pay the balance of 20%. Or it could be, if you're buying a resale, that then you pay the balance of the purchase price, you sign a final contract, the title is transferred. Or it could mean that you are working with financing, and then you would sign a contract with the bank when the bank is ready for you to sign. So at the stage where you finish the due diligence, you sign the contract, and then you celebrate. Congratulations, you have purchased a property in the Dominican Republic. Now, without further ado, I'm going to hand the mic over to Darian, who is going to continue the conversation, speaking about banking, financing, and taxes. Darian, you're gonna share? Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. No doubt that answered many of your questions, and we're going to get into a little more detail about some of these that you've no doubt been wondering. What is banking like? Can a foreigner get a loan in the Dominican Republic? And as Cheryl mentioned, the answer is yes. They can get a loan in the Dominican Republic. In fact, the large banking institutions here in the Dominican Republic are even offering loans in US dollars. Now, those aren't available to Dominicans who are earning in pesos here. If you want one of these loans in US dollars, which many of the builders are going to accept US dollars with pleasure, then you need to have proof of income in dollars to get these loans. Now, why would you want to get a loan in US dollars instead of Dominican pesos? Well, the Dominican peso loans here through the financial institutions in the Dominican Republic are notoriously high rates. You're looking at 9 to 12% generally on these. And for Americans, that is an astronomical rate for a mortgage. Whereas in the US dollars, one of the large banking institutions like BHD Leon offers those loans at 6%. And a couple of weeks ago, we had the great news that Scotiabank, which many of you are familiar with and operates here in the country, they're offering US dollar mortgage loans at 3.75% on a 3-year fixed rate. And those can be up to 25-year loans. So fixed for 3 years, 3.75. Fixed for 5 years at 4.75. If you're taking notes, fixed at 5 years for 4.75. And they will loan that money for up to a 25-year period. So this is great news for those who want to finance here in the Dominican Republic. along with the financing, first question is, you're wondering what the monthly payment is. Is there mortgage insurance in the Dominican Republic? No, there is not mortgage insurance here. There is life insurance that goes along with it, and the bank will handle that in a way like they might handle mortgage insurance, and it's, in essence, accomplishes the same thing. So based on the amount of the loan and based on the health of the person. So you will have a life insurance policy accompany that mortgage. You might be wondering what is required to get a loan here. It's very much the same process as getting a loan back in the United States. A good credit score, your proof of income in dollars we mentioned, your W-2s, your bank statements, all these normal things that any lending institution in the States is going to require. So a very familiar process for you there. Cheryl started to talk about the cost of closing. So what are closing costs? She mentioned 5%. Let's get into detail about what she was mentioning, where you don't have to pay 3% of that 5%, which is a huge savings. It has to do with legislature, which also Alex referred to, and it has to do with Confotur. This is the Consejo, or the Council for Fomenting Tourism here in the country. And that is the institution that will determine if a particular project qualifies for this legislation, for that savings, in order to promote tourism. So they're going to be looking at things of like, is it in a touristy zone? Is it of a certain size to where it's going to have some economic impact, provide jobs? And probably where the Confotur legislation is most being used is in the area of Punta Cana, because that is the main tourist destination here in the country. So how does that affect you? How does it affect your clients? It can be a 10 to 15 year tax abatement. Now, the yearly real estate tax is 1%, and that 1% is not based solely on the value of the property. There's a threshold here for property taxes. You don't pay property tax at all if a property is below 132,000, more or less, and that's adjusted annually based on the exchange rate of the dollar to the peso and inflation. But right now, that's 7.7 million pesos, or about $132,000 is the threshold. So that 1% per year is based on the value of the property above that threshold. So a $200,000 property is going to be based on $68,000, 1% of $68,000. All right. That said, if it is a Confotur property, if it's qualified, you get an abatement of that tax for 10 to 15 years. What else? The effect on closing costs. Here we go. No 3% title transfer fee. Big savings on closing costs as well. So that's why many of the properties that we might recommend would be projects that aren't ready now, but will be ready in the future. And these projects sell out faster. That's why we sell them a year and a half ahead of time, is because people want to take advantage of this tax abatement and not have to pay that one-time 3% title transfer tax. I think we've covered everything for banking, finances, and taxes. If you have any more questions, we will definitely be here at the end of the session. For now, I'm going to turn it back over to Alex, right? For property management.
Thank you very much, Darian. Thank you. Wow, very informative, very interesting. Here we're going to go into what Darian mentioned, the property management aspect of things. I'll quickly tell you about the different options here and what it represents, property management for condos specifically, what it represents for you and your clients. So let's start with that. What is property management for condos and what does it cover? Well, for you, the owner, or for your customer, hiring a property management has some tangible benefits. A good property management company could help increase the value of the asset by managing it more effectively while taking off the workload on the day-to-day basis. A condo management company is responsible for handling the day-to-day needs of the property they're managing. This goes from responding to a call about a light that's not turning on to responding to emergency calls such as a backed up toilet. If a condo is being rented, the property management company typically also handles all tenant related tasks, from the rental advertising with Airbnb or booking.com or whatever other portal is to be used, as well as the reservation process, the checking and checkout process, the cleaning of the condo, the washing of the linens, etc. However, please note that the hours of service for a condo management company depends on the company. A good question is, what does it cost? Having said that, well, the cost of a condo management company varies based on the company and the services they provide. But for rental properties, they usually charge a percentage of the rental fee they collect. That is about 25%, and it also, the company also adds any additional repairs, the cost of repairs that might be incurred. How does everybody get paid? That's another question that we all want to know, right? Typically, the condo property management company collects the rental fees, deducts their agreed percentage in addition to any applicable expenses, then deposits or transfers the balance to the owner's account. In conclusion, we're all probably asking ourselves, how do I select a good property management company in the DR? Good news, nothing to worry about. We'll recommend several of the most reputable companies in their areas. We'll introduce you to the principals and help you make the decision on how to select it. So property management, in conclusion, before I turn it back over to Cheryl, is a service that is very valuable for condos here in the Dominican Republic, especially for absentee owners or absentee landlords. It is packed with benefits that take off the day-to-day headaches of renting, managing, cleaning, and responding to calls. Having said that, I'll turn it back over to Cheryl, who will conclude the meeting for us.
Thank you, Alex. Actually, we do have a couple of more topics that we can run through quickly, because I know that we have 1 hour and we want to respect everybody's time. The other two topics are legal and insurance. I will get through this part, and then Darian can speak about insurance, and then we can answer some questions. So in a nutshell, legal, title, and ownership. Fee simple title. I can make it very quick and very easy. You own the property outright. You don't have to have a Dominican citizen. You don't have to have residency. You don't have to have a company. You don't have to have anything special. You can have your passport, a legal passport, and you can buy a property. Of course, you have to have the funds. That's important, whether it's through the bank or whether it's through your own resources. But if you have the means to pay and you have a legal document like a passport, you can buy a property, and it is fee simple, which means that it is your own property. It's not a loan, a lease. There's no time period or anything like that. And if something happens to you, God forbid, your heirs can come and claim your bienes, your assets, which would be the property. They are assets transferable upon death. You can buy with various legal entities. You can buy as a person. You can buy in the name of a company, with your family, or with other partners. You can establish a Dominican company. It is recommended that it is a Dominican company and not a US company. We can answer more questions about that, but you can open a Dominican company for as little as $1,200 to have the company to buy the property, which could make it easier to sell in the cases of confortur, which means that we're not necessarily changing owner. It's still the same owner that can carry the same benefits. That is if you buy in the name of a company. The lawyers complete the due diligence and draft the contracts. I did speak about that. Pre-construction purchases require 2 contracts. I'll explain that briefly. If you're buying in pre-construction, at the point that you're signing the contract, the project is not done. So you will sign at that point what is called a conditional contract, which has conditions: the condition that you pay, the condition that the builder builds. And then when the project is ready to be delivered, which could be anywhere from a year, 2 years, or whatever is the construction period, then at the point of receiving your keys and making the final payment, then you would have a final contract that says all conditions are met, the property is paid, nothing is owed, and then it's a final contract that goes to transfer the title. Okay, so Alex already spoke about property management, so I will pass it back over to Darian, who will give us a little bit of information about insurance, and then we can see if there are any questions. So far, there are only 2 questions, so we should get you out of here pretty much on time to get on with your busy Monday. Darian.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, insurance is a question that many want to know about here in the Dominican Republic. Is homeowners insurance required? Definitely not required, but it's a great option. And what would you pay? Well, you're looking at less than 1% annually of the value insured. And the value insured can depend on the purchase price, or it's we'll just leave it at that. The value of the insured is basically what you decide. You tell the insurance company what you paid for the place, and if you want to insure what's in the place, also tack $20,000 on there, then you're paying really about 0.8% annually on that total value. You can get insurance through various institutions here in the Dominican Republic, but we would always recommend the insurance companies that are associated with the solid banking institutions here in the country, which is why we put a couple of them up here on the slide. Universal is part of Banco Popular, and the MAPFRE is part of Banco BHD. So we would definitely recommend that you look into your homeowner's insurance through them. Again, not required, but definitely recommended. Back to you, Cheryl.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have about 30 people. We have a couple of questions. I see one question that asks, how is the new president in the Dominican Republic going to play a factor in real estate in the upcoming year? Well, I can tell you that the new president is pro-development, he's pro-tourism, he is pro-growth, and he is really excited to continue the momentum that we have going on here in the Dominican Republic to welcome and invite foreign investment to continue to grow the country that has experienced prosperity and economic growth because of the investments and the tourism that has created many, many jobs and much better stability in the country of the Dominican Republic. I see another question here that is asking about planning purposes to come and visit. Come and visit anytime. Please come and visit anytime. We are here. The country is open. I am actually going to share a screen with you that has our contact information so that you are very, very welcome to contact us. Let me see if I can get that here. You can get our information and contact us. We are here all the time. We live here full time. We are very happy to welcome any and everybody who wants to come visit us, whether it's for personal reasons, for business reasons, for mission reasons, what have you. We are more than willing and able and very interested to receive you. We have a couple of more questions. My parents were born in the DR from Monte Cristi. Want to develop and construct. What resources can you utilize for residents who are interested in selling their land? Not really sure about that question, but I would say definitely contact us, because we can help you with that as far as acquiring land, which we have a beautiful large piece of land that Darian actually has that could be very interesting for development in an area. What is the area called, Darian?
That's Sajoma or San Jose de las Matas. It's part of the province of Santiago. It's
Yes.
mountainous region.
And it's very touristic. It has waterfalls. It has rivers. You can go canoeing and kayaking. It's beautiful. We have lots of opportunities. So contact us. We can help you.
Yeah, regarding that, could I add something? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Add.
I just want to add that it's best to go through a company like is reputable, like Keller Williams, for example, because you know that they have checked title before they list a property. Title is an issue here in the country, especially in lands in the interior if you want to be buying. So make sure you go with a reputable real estate company if you're going to be looking into land.
Yes, for sure. Listen to Darian. If you're buying a property or condo, generally that's not a problem, but just land in the middle of nowhere, you just want to make sure, because herederos, like the heirs, the children, my grandfather's grandfather owned this land. We have to be careful because it's untapped, untouched, and we need to make sure that you can get clear title so that you can build and then you can issue title to your buyers. Somebody asked, where can I see a list of properties? There are two places. For us in particular, you can go to Punta Cana KW, puntacanakw.com to see all the properties we have in the Punta Cana area. And we actually have a website, national website, that is KW Inmobiliaria. That we can put in the chat as well, if maybe Darian or Alex. I mean, this is speaking from our standpoint. There are other websites, and we can connect you with other websites from other members of AEI, but these properties are vetted. We have strict requirements to be able to list the properties. We check title, we check owner, we make sure the properties are good. So if we can put Punta Cana KW or KW Inmobiliaria to find the other properties, then that would be great. The typical split for commissions sold in the DR, 50-50. That is how we work if you represent your buyer. We do have projects, and I think we're going to be doing another presentation for you in January where we can actually pay to you 3% for your referrals. So the person who put this question, please do contact us and we can give you more information about that. Actually, we're doing more presentations this week that are similar to this presentation. And also we are offering a fly and buy to Punta Cana that will pay and reimburse your travel expenses if you or your client would come here and buy during the trip. And we have a presentation on Wednesday. We're actually doing the presentation in Spanish, and we're doing the presentation in English. So if you're interested, please contact us. And that's what's going on this week. But as a part of the association, we will also be presenting like the middle of January. So stay tuned with the notices about the next time we will be presenting, and we will just go into other areas of the country and other opportunities in other areas. Today was just kind of a general overview of the buying process. Repeat the part about setting up a Dominican property. I think that will be the last question. Just to give you a brief overview, you can set up a Dominican company as a sole proprietor, as a partnership, as a corporation, like LLC, like the same types of entities that you see in the United States. You purchase a Dominican company with whoever are your shareholders, and that company can actually purchase property. How does that work? The company owns the property. The asset of the company is the property, and it can make it easier to sell your property in the future. For example, if you're taking advantage of the Confortur, which gives the 15 years to the first buyer only from the builder, then it is recommended that you buy in the name of a company. Because let's say you want to sell the property 5 years down the road and you still have 10 years of the tax benefit. Well, the tax benefit is only good for the first buyer. So if you sell the property to another entity, they will not have that benefit. But let's say you bought the property in the name of a company. The company owns the property, the title is in the name of the company, and you want to sell that property and you want to pass those benefits on to somebody. Well, guess what you do? You sell the company that owns the asset, which is the property. You sell the company and the owner does not change. It's just that the shareholders of the company change. So you sell your company, which owns the asset, and then those benefits continue with the person that you sold the company to. It's a good advantage to pass on those tax benefits if you are buying or you own a property that has qualified for Confortur. Okay, I don't know if there are any other questions, but I will pass the mic back over to Diana. We have enjoyed presenting to you. Hopefully this has been helpful to you. It's been a little quiet. We're just talking to a screen, but I would love to know that if you have felt that this has been of value or interest to you, that you would put a 1 in the chat box.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, guys. You all have given us so much information. It has been just absolutely fabulous. I am like, my pen is running out of ink with all the notes I took. Thank you so much. And this was a great teaser, because you guys make sure you come back for our next presentation in January. We are working with our counterparts in the Dominican Republic. As their ambassador association, we really want to foster a relationship with them. We want to provide our members and their members great information, great opportunities for business, and for all of us to make more money and to also visit beautiful places. So I really thank you so much, Cheryl, Darian, Alex. You guys have been a wealth of information, and we look forward to many, many more presentations together and to actually go visit. February sounds like a good time to be outside of New Jersey. So thank you so much. Everyone who attended, thank you so much. And please keep an eye out and register for our next presentation, which is going to be even better than this. Have a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Follow us on social media. I like to do updates about what's going on here, the weather, the restaurants, the projects, anything that you want to know about. In the meantime, just connect with us. We're always here. And thank you to Diana for inviting us to this presentation. And we look forward to meeting you all down here.
Wonderful. Thank you, Cheryl. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.